It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves at Target Center. For the Timberwolves, they lost their first matchup against these guys. This, their final game against them in the regular season, looking to finish with a split. Tyronn Lue went from being an assistant coach in Cleveland to interim head coach, and now the head coach with an NBA title. Talk about the job he's done for the Cavs.
You know, his players love him. They fight for him. He played for me, so I know he's a great basketball mind, and I think that's the best compliment you can give a coach.
He played for you?
Yeah, he played for me.
He played for you? You coached him?
Nope, but it was my team.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
it must have been a joy to coach.
Must have been a joy to coach, man. First-time coach, man, leading his team to rings, you've got to be impressed. Well, the other thing that you're impressed is how much guys play for him, not just that he played for guys.
Oh, you know, that's so deep. I'm going to need to take about a half or 3/4 just to digest it. Here's Kevin Harlan.
Conference affair lined up for you today as the Cleveland Cavaliers come in for this one. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. With Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. It's a special night because we're sitting alongside former NBA champion, MVP Kevin Garnett. We're so excited to have you here.
How you doing, Kev, man?
I'm doing great. Now that you're here, this is terrific.
Man, it's good to see you, man.
Taking a look at Minnesota, and they're battling it out for playoff position, presently 8 games off the lead.
Well, right now for the Timberwolves, they've had a dream season, and I think they're only going to get stronger as we approach the postseason.
And once the playoffs do arrive, they won't be intimidated. They got underdogs early on, but during the course of the regular season, they've proven they can handle any situation and any opponent, no matter how tough.
And a look at the starters for the Cavaliers. LeBron and Love are the deadly forward pair. Rose is out there at Bledsoe, and it's Thompson in at the center filling out the middle. And it's Wiggins missing. The Cavaliers on offense. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still, their ability to stay composed was impressive.
Well, it led to a big scoring effort, taking advantage of every weakness. So any possession the defense wasn't aggressive on, they were on the offensive end.
Kevin, when you played, we all know how intense you were, how much you cared. That, to me, was the thing that you cared so much about the product, about your team, about the game. But some people have said that maybe there was a streak of you that was mean is maybe not the right word, but you were overly aggressive. But I don't know how you could have played any differently.
I
call it dialed in. You know, I like to think that if you're trying to accomplish something, then, you know, I only know one way to accomplish something. You go at it with everything you have.
Yes.
You go to dominate it and take it over. You don't go at something lightly.
Can't walk through the park with this game,
not at all. Not at all. And this game is full of talented elites. Night in, night out, you're playing someone that can typically go for 50 easy.
So true. And, Kevin, there was such a whirlwind around your trade to the Celtics from the Timberwolves. What were your thoughts and emotions at that time?
You know what? Being in Minnesota at that time, it was very difficult for me. I didn't necessarily want to leave. I had a goal to bring the city a championship, and I felt like I could do that. Nothing worse than when you have to deal with the reality of change. I'm not the one for change, even though I do know in order to process or progress better, you have to embrace some change. So with the help of my friends from Chauncey Billups, Teron Lou, I sat and I thought through it with those guys who have been through the trade process and talking to me, getting me to understand my options. And once I understood all my options, then I just, you know, it was about what was best for me and my family.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to consider. The Timberwolves making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. Gibson with the screen on LeBron. Here's Wiggins. And a rebound goes to the Cavaliers. Last time they met in Cleveland.
And that was one of those gritty wins. I mean, they struggled in a lot of areas, but the fight was never in doubt. And that's one reason why they were able to pull it out.
Now here's LeBron. A 26-point game for him in the win against Detroit.
The other part of his game was the outstanding D. Shot blocking is a huge momentum shifter, and his 2 blocks really turned the game in their team's favor.
And, Kev, you had a voice in where you'd go from Minnesota. How did all that play out?
I sat with my wife, and we all kind of went through it and thought Boston was the best situation. Paul and I had great bones and great history that I don't think the world really knew. We have been knowing each other since 14, 15. I played with each other younger, and I had a chance to play with Cole, but that really didn't go through. A lot of people don't know I had a chance to play with Steve Nash also, but I wanted to play with Stoudemire, and that wasn't the case. So I decided to go to Boston. Ray and I knew each other from South Carolina. And then, you know, the Rondo piece was a huge piece for me. You know, I had followed the youngster in his first year and just watched his growth a little bit, even though I was in the Western Conference. And then when I got to Boston, I knew they had good pieces like Kendrick Perkins and Tony Allen. I wasn't aware of the Big Baby piece yet, and then I wasn't sure on the Posey part. And then all of a sudden it started to come together. Eddie House, and then all of this, and
great names.
I mean,
great names.
Just all alphas, all guys able to stand up and speak for themselves and be articulate, and you know, all different facets, and you know, very similar facets of who we are personality-wise. And a lot of people just don't know that team there. I don't think another coach could have coached that team other than Doc Rivers.
Here's Gibson. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Gibson's got his first points in this one.
Taj Gibson's postgame continues to improve, that time showing a nice touch.
Here's Butler, and slam dunk by Butler.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. They grabbed their own miss. Back to LeBron. Outside for Bledsoe. James against Wiggins. LeBron dishes to Love. Back to James. Thompson, a screen on Wiggins. James, the pass to Thompson. And it's Thompson with the jam.
That's what Tristan Thompson does best, just working the glass and working the D over.
Timberwolves leading by 7. Kevin, of all the people you've faced, who is the toughest guy for you to score against down low? We'll stick that geography. Who is the toughest to score against down there?
Listen, I know a lot of people. I've always said Rasheed Wallace. I've always said Tim Duncan. They're probably the two that brought a different level of play out of me, but shout to Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson, I don't know if people know this, but Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson was one of the better defenders in the post. He was very strong. He was very long. He didn't go for any counters. He was very disciplined. He was well prepared. because he was a veteran. The refs let him get away with a lot, touching and grabbing. He knew when to be physical in some positions. He knew to do what we call work early. He would meet you at the three-point line, and he would be fighting you, and you would post up probably like a step outside the three-point line. He was really good at some of his techniques and how he was able to control the post. After Cliff left the game, I watched a lot of his tape, and I took a lot of his
No kidding.
I had to, because it was so effective against me that I was able to use it against other post players on the defensive end.
I never knew that story.
Dennis Rodman was another guy I watched a lot. Akeem Olajuwon I watched a lot, because these guys were laterally very similar to my makeup. Akeem Olajuwon was long. He was able to laterally move with you. I was laterally able to move with guards, and able to laterally to slide with some of the forwards and some of the more laterally gifted power forwards. And with that, able to get my feet together, being able to block shots, challenge the rim, stuff like that. Things that, if you're going to get better at something, you got to go and reach and find the great ones that did it before you and take it, and then I was able to apply it, and I did those things.
And Kevin, you played for some great coaches, but is there any coach you would have been interested to work with that just didn't get a chance to? Say, Greg Popovich or Phil Jackson.
Those are great coaches. I've had a very, very little time with those guys.
Maybe in all-star games and things like that.
I have. But, when you do all-star games, you let yourself go. You open up yourself to try to, be there and be present with the guys. Yes. Open up, hey, what's up? What's been up with you? How's the year for y'all? Y'all playing well? We're going to beat y'all when we see y'all, blah, blah, blah. But, you're very cordial. And, you're not talking too much about X's and O's, but you do share perspectives. You do share, philosophies. Pop is a great mind. I had a chance to sit with him a couple times. Phil's a great mind. Phil's super deep and loves the philosophy of. I haven't had a lot of time with those guys. Doc Rivers, shout out to Doc, and I know he doesn't get a lot for his philosophies, but he's very enriched with philosophies and styles and bringing teams together and trying to make sure that guys stay
connected,
stimulated. He would always tell us, never get bored with the process.
Wow, that's so intriguing. Interesting to hear. And they finally get it to go. A full night's work on the boards in one trip down the floor.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Jones kicks to Butler. Passes to Wiggins. 14 feet away. Again, Wiggins missing.
Just doesn't seem to be shooting it with confidence, and his shots are going all over the place in this period.
And Kev, you think of the great ones. You, Kobe, Jordan.
Timmy,
yeah, how about him? They worked harder than anybody else, Kevin.
And what you learn is that the similarity or the parallel that you all have is our inner animal that you never speak about. We're all a little off. We're all a little dark, but that's what pushes you through pain. That's what pushes you through tough moments. When someone says you can't, when someone says this is not possible, this is unreal, no one's ever done it, that's the moment you're looking for. The moment someone told Cole that he couldn't get over 50, 60, something Jordan couldn't do, he was driven in that. And if Phil wouldn't have stopped him, he probably would have reached 100 points.
He probably would have, yeah.
He did Wilt Chamberlain a favor. And that's just real. He was in that type of mode. We all share that passion. We all share that drive. And the ones that have that inner darkness, we all understand.
It's like a split personality, huh?
It's almost like another level.
Yeah. And Kevin, you've recently gotten a chance to do more TV. Your show, Area 21, has been tremendous, and the critics love it. Talk about this chapter of your career.
Well, it was something that I wasn't planning on, but, Turner brought me a great concept, and it fit the mold of what any man cave is, and that's really what it is. But the fact that we can go in, watch games on multiple channels, see multiple games, articulate it, give it from a perspective of a player, coming fresh out of this generation of players, give an understanding to this generation of players is very important, because these players now are very different. Teaching these young players, still being mentors of these players, very important. And still loving this game. It's still a beautiful game. Man, the game is growing. I'm watching these kids do all types of different stuff, man. The creativity in our game now is so heightened. So, yeah, I'm having a bunch of fun, which is one thing I never forgot. The piece of advice you've always told me, man. So you continue to enjoy what you do, and it'll show. And I'm hoping that I'm making you proud of that, Kay. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, man.
You're an incredible ambassador to all of those things. The game, the fun of life. You capture a lot of the fun of life.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm enjoying it, so, hopefully it shows.
And there's the call on James. That's his first foul. And the Cavaliers with some changes. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Thompson. Harper comes in for Kevin Love. And it's Troy Daniels in for James. And KG, you're retired from the game now, and you're stepping into the broadcast business a little bit now, aren't you?
Man, you see me?
You
know what? Area 21 is something that is authentic. It's me. I'm having a great time watching the games. It's really cool being a fan now. I can root for people I want to root for. I don't have to worry about preparing and who I'm a guard and I'm getting the tea. So you know what? It's a great time. It's work. It's not just you go in there and you have a bunch of fun. We actually get some things done, but we have a great time, man.
You're in that.
Hey, Kev, listen, watching you, being around you, man, the great, rest in peace to Craig, Ernie, Charles, all these great influences, man, has definitely helped. Not just me, but our younger generations of broadcasters, man. It's totally, I didn't see this being my lane, but I'm having fun with it.
Doing a great job. Kevin, growing up watching the game of basketball, who were some of your earliest influences?
My early influences in the game of basketball was Magic Johnson, obviously Michael Jordan, and then Chris Webber. Chris Webber, Malik Sealy was kind of like the younger generation of my inspiration. Yeah. St. John's was one of the destinations. Michigan was one of my college destinations. So those guys were my natural inspirations early on when I was young.
Yeah. The Timberwolves shooting their first free throw attempt on the night.
Well, Evans reestablishing himself over the past couple of seasons, a skilled combo guard with great handle.
And KG, talk about how the greats can just impose their will.
It's almost like another level.
Yeah.
When you see LeBron, when he did to Detroit in that fourth quarter, that's a blackout. You don't know what you're doing. When you see Kobe for 81, when you see Chauncey come down on a one, these players are blacking out. These are elite players in elite moments, taking the moment. Paul Pierce is one of the best that I've ever seen grab a moment and savor it and just put it in slow-mo. And nothing speeding them up.
Special players.
Special players. But I get a front row seat of seeing that. Ray Allen, the same thing. Had a great composure about himself to slow himself down and hit pressure shots. Tim Duncan, same thing.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Evans gets the rebound.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Pass to Jones. Crawford outside. Now the dish to Lopez. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Pekovic with the screen on Jones. 23 seconds left to play in the first. Harper kicks to Pekovic over Lopez, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. Crawford outside. From 13 feet, it goes down. And the Timberwolves lead by 11.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
And already the lead is significant. Excellent play on both ends.
And so it's Minnesota holding on to an 11-point cushion as we get ready to take a break. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. We'll return shortly. And a guy who seems to improve every season, Jimmy Butler. He spoke with us about one of his biggest surprises.
It's crazy because I never thought that anybody would be preparing to guard me night in and night out. But they do. I have to learn to cope with that and still find a way to be successful on both ends of the floor. And it's a learning curve for me also, but I'm figuring it out.
And hard to doubt the dedication of Jimmy Butler. He's found a way to overcome obstacles at each important point along the way.
You know, he's a self-made player, and if Butler can stay healthy, boy, the sky's the limit.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Timberwolves team out there.
Yeah, it didn't take them long to get that transition game going.
Well, that's a quick way to build the lead. But, Greg, can they sustain this kind of effort all night long? We'll see.
And so in the game for the Cavaliers, they've got Nikola Pekovic. Harper is out there with Farrell. And it's Daniels in at the 3 slot. Clock at 4. Crawford, no luck. The Cavaliers trail by 11. And people may not know, KG, that you're not just a broadcaster for 2K, but you're a member of the 2K community.
Have you been keeping up with the community, man?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Man, listen,
very much so.
Shout out to all the 2K players out there. I'm Jizzle Lord. Y'all know what it is. I'm Jizzle Lord 5. Shout out to my OBF team. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to Dex. Shout out to Bug. Shout out to everybody out there playing.
Wow.
Right. We definitely.
Wow.
It's all good. You know, I'm OBF. I'm about the team. I'm gang. You know what it is. Jizzle Lord. Y'all holler at me. Y'all know what it is, 2K. Right.
We play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Jones kicks to Crawford. Kevin, coming out of high school, you were relatively mature for your age, as 17 turning 18, but do you ever regret not trying college and just seeing what that experience would have been like? I mean, it's such a long time ago, but you've had some chance probably to get some perspective on both sides of that story.
You know what, Kev, I look at it like the unknown is the unknown. Obviously, I've had friends that went to college. Some of my best friends went to college, and I think I've kind of lived it through them a little bit. Listen, when you have responsibility early in life,
which you did,
which I did,
yes,
and you know, so from a mature level, things that interest me are not that interesting as you get older, especially when you have to deal with a vigorous schedule of an NBA schedule. I wasn't able to, be the 17, 18-year-old to chill, lean on the parents a little bit, be able to be at home, coming home through the weekends. I had a real life that I was responsible for, and I was growing something. I was building something. I was trying to not just be a young player in our league, but a young businessman wanting to establish something for myself, my friends, my family. You can't do those things thinking like a normal 17, 18-year-old. You're taking pieces from grown men around you all the time. You're around people who need something all the time. At some point, you have to put all this together, and you have to make it work for you, and you have to put your spin on it and for how it works for you and your brand. And you have to be innovative with that. You have to be creative with that. You have to have a vision.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to consider. Towns, no luck.
Well, in the rebounding game, at least, it's been a strong physical performance for him.
Kevin, what a lot of fans don't get to see is all the work players do behind the scenes, at home, before games, after games, on off days. Can you talk a little bit about that? Getting your body ready from the end of one game to play the next game. I mean, I've seen it, but you talk about it.
Yeah, the wellness starts right after you stop playing. The minute you come off the court, you're iced. You got to do progressions where right after the game, you shower. Obviously, you got to get massages. You got to get some type of wellness on your legs just because you're running so much. People don't know that you have to lift weights. When we was in Boston, we lift every other day. We had a strenuous strength program. Shout out to B-Dude. Brian Dew, who's our strength coach up there, never let us get a day off. And if you didn't lift weights, then we find you as a players find you. Because it's important for you to come in here and be strong. We need everybody to be as strong as they can be. So you have to lift. And then actually, you practice. But after practice, you have to put time into your own personal game.
Right. So much goes into it. It's amazing. Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Taj Gibson's checked in for Lopez. Butler comes in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Teague in for Tyus Jones. Kevin, with intentional fouling, with poor free throw shooters being sent to the line currently, the Hacka Drummond, Hacka Shaq, all this stuff, Hacka DeAndre Jordan. What are your thoughts on all that?
You know what? I like it. You know what it's going to do? It's
part of the strategy?
It's going to put the strategy, and this is part of it. And you know what you got to do? It's going to make all those guys you just named work on their free throw. Because if any advantage that you have in the game, coaches are going to expose it. Coaches are going to expose all weak points as they should, as any sport, and as any great is going to expose any weaknesses in defenses. He's going to look to expose those things. So this is one of the things that dictates the game, and these guys are going to have to be better. It's going to push them. It's going to make them better players.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And the foul called on Minnesota. For Cleveland, they have made 3 of 5 free throw attempts. And he makes the first. Kevin, you accomplished everything individually as a teammate. Anything that you wish you would have done, any player that you wish you would have played with, any regret in that form that lingers with you in retirement?
No, nothing lingers. Obviously, you sit back and think about, I would love to play with Cole for a year, or got to team at least play in the U.S.
You had a chance to. Wasn't it like a rumor one time?
It was. My connection with Paul was just the opportunity when I waited. It was what it was, but Cole,
you wouldn't have traded the Paul Pierce thing for anything.
No, I wouldn't have, because Paul and I are true brothers. The connection, and then the team, Ray, my connection with Doe and then Doc and all that. So I wouldn't have given that up for anything. But if I could have played with one person, probably would have been Cole. Summertime, I say USA because that's when you get to play with each other and all that, and you get to kind of beat up on everybody else and be USA or whatever. So that would have been super fun. But it's all good. Shout to Mamba, you know what it is. But I have no regrets, man. I left everything on the floor. I enjoy watching the game more than ever now. I'm not even going to front. I enjoy having my popcorn, my little ritual, my boys, and we sit back and watch the game and love the game.
Yeah. And Towns gets it to go. Kevin, we see some coaches get extremely emotional on the sideline. Others take a more even-keeled approach, more calm on the sideline. Which coaching style would you prefer to play for when you were in your prime? Did you want a coach who was animated, or did you want a coach that was just kind of settled on the sideline?
You know what? I like the coach that was settled on the sideline. I like to think that great coaches are going to be able to coach you and practice, and then during the games, it's about the product and what you put out on the floor. Coaches that have understanding, coaches that have vision, coaches that understand the game, understand that it's a game of runs, it's a game of momentum, and have plays for those momentums and those times. But coaches that I've always gravitated to and understood.
Like Doc was kind of in between, wasn't he? Little bit of emotion, but he could also have a calm demeanor on that side.
Doc was on fire. I'm sorry. There was nothing calming about Doc.
I'm trying to cover Doc's back here.
No, shout to Doc. Doc will rip your head off if you wasn't supposed to. But you know what? You need to play with that edge. You needed to know that if you wasn't in your spot, 1 through 15, you understood that you were supposed to be there. And it's good to play with that. I think that you don't want to be out there playing like, this is no big deal. Every play is a big deal. And no play, absolutely. And you know what? That severity, and you play with that importance, and knowing that you're playing for the next guy. So that's important.
Kevin, you were always known as wanting to play and always wanting to practice. You were a gym rat. What did you do when a coach would ask you maybe to take a break? Let's sit out this game. Let's rest up. Would you welcome that? Would you just say, I'll let you know when I can't go? Or how would you handle that situation?
You know what? I've always asked the coach to respect the way I get ready for games. I've always asked him to respect the way I approach the game. I've always asked the coach to respect me and my expertise of knowing my body. I'm very, very vocal. Listen, one person needs rest, and it's me. I know how to raise my hand. I know how to say I need some rest. But, I'm a person who likes to push through a lot of things. I'm a person who understands rest, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm a person who understands that practice makes perfect. And if I can work on something for as long as I can to make something better, because I know at the end when I need it, especially when I used to call it dial up. When I call, I need the answer.
And you can see that Butler is the total package. Solid at recognizing when one of his guys is open.
Oh, and the jam by Butler.
I tell you what, Butler is a physical dunker. I mean, he takes his craft seriously. I just love watching this guy take off.
Now here.
And there's no question that James is one of the best dunkers ever. A forceful finisher who loves showing off his athleticism.
Kevin, we've all seen the evolution of the perimeter-style offense. Do you think it'll ever go so far that we'll see the game come back to an inside-oriented offensive scheme?
I think right now that with pace being the way it is now, Kev, I don't see it necessarily going through or going back to playing through the post. Although you have to have an alternative. I think that you just can't be all three-pointers and layups. I think you have to have a constant flow of inside-outside. I think it helps to have a post player. I think having a post player or a true post player that can score and dominate the middle opens up threes and opens up ball movement.
You played during the transition too, didn't you? From a grinded-out type of game inside to spacing that we had now.
I did, and I like to say that, Doc Rivers started the small ball, and, we were very, very keen on the small ball. So I think in today's game, you got to be able to shoot the three now and be able to handle the ball and put the ball on the floor and make decisions. So it shows that the game is transformed.
Now T, following the three-point attempt by Kevin Love. 17-foot shot on the way. And the basket good. A bank shot that time. Kevin, you were so successful jumping from high school to pros. What do you think about the current situation now, the age of 19, the minimum to go to the draft?
I'm always be a fan of the younger kids being able to have the opportunity. I don't like when you put parameters. I could see if college was really teaching these kids and really giving them a solid situation to be able to have something to defer to. But, these kids are not learning at the rate that you would like them to learn in college. And plus, they're not staying in college to these great institutions to be able to apply some of the things they're learning. So I just think that they need...
They're basketball players.
They're basketball players, but they should have the opportunity to take advantage of if you're able to play at 17, 18 like I was. Not saying that every kid's going to have that, but you have obviously the D-League. You have all these multiple leagues throughout the world and where kids go to play. Some kids have missed out just because of that 1 year and some mishaps. And you sit here and you can say, for business is good for this. Listen, the business is what it's going to be. We need to develop and have these kids be professionals more than anything. We need to grow these kids from a skill level and an appetite level. Our game was built off for one to be better than the ones that's come before us. You know what I'm saying? Lou Alcindor came in here. He was, a.k.a. obviously Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was more encouraged to beat out Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell more than anything. And then that starts to trickle down from the effect of from Jordan wanting to be better than Larry Bird and Magic to Cole wanting to be better than, it's the same thing. It's being trickled down. And when I think of greatness, I think, it's going to follow. It's going to be shadows, and at some point it's going to mimic.
I think what I'd like to see from him in this quarter is getting going from the perimeter. Hit a three in the first, nothing in the second.
He lobs up the alley-oop pass. And count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Exploiting the opposing defense in the paint here. That they've set up shop down in there this second quarter, and boy, are they cashing in.
The Timberwolves shooting their fourth shot at the foul line here.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
The Cavaliers trail by 12. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Bledsoe kicks to Rose. Off target from three-point range. Now, here's Butler. 6 points for him. Holmes sets a screen. Wiggins with it. Now guarded by Shumpert. Wiggins kicks to Butler. Over Rose. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Holmes fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
It's not so much just the made shots, it's the consistency of the made shots that's got his team the lead.
This trip is his second to the free throw line in this one. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Crawford comes in for Butler, and Jones subbed in for Jeff Teague. And that one misses.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
And KG, I have to say, a pleasure to have you with us here tonight, providing your great insight and intellect into these broadcasts. Thanks so much for being with us on the show, and I hope you come by again.
Man, K-Hall, anytime you need me, man, you let me know, man. I'm yours, man. You know what it is.
The great, the champion, Kevin Garnett. And, Brent, it's amazing that our introduction to KG was just this high school kid from Chicago, and before that, from South Carolina. So unrefined, undefined, and now, you know, he has just so much wisdom to impart. He's learned so much. It's wonderful to listen to.
You think about Kevin Garnett, Kevin, and the fact that he played more than half of his life in the NBA. And for a guy like that to pick up some sort of knowledge, to carry it on and to pay it forward, That's the kind of loyalty and enthusiasm that Kevin Garnett always shows for the game of basketball.
Now here's Wiggins following the shot by Tristan Thompson. Holmes kicks to Crawford. Here's Towns, and Thompson sends it back.
Well, Thompson lives in the paint, and defensively, occasionally, you're going to get to shots like that.
Love kicks to Bledsoe. It's tipped, and it's out of bounds. The Cavaliers able to retain possession here.
Playing with lots of energy here, trying to cause turnovers.
Yeah, even though he doesn't come up with the steal, that kind of deflection will disrupt the rhythm of this offensive possession.
And so we conclude the first half. Minnesota on top. They lead by 12. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, you have come a long way in this league. When you look at your career now versus when you came in, how different is it?
Much different. I think on the floor, I'm supposed to do a lot more on both ends of the floor. And off the floor, I think it's still the same. People recognize my hair.
Well, it is a unique style, Jimmy. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken,
as we break down the action. It's Minnesota out in front at the half. They are leading by 12. How about you, Shaq? What'd you think about Minnesota?
They did an awesome-erific job. That's right, Ernie. Awesome-erific. That's awesome and terrific together. Anyway, they did an awesome-erific job of limiting turnovers. They were almost mistake-free. It puts you in the right frame of mind when you can play like that. And as long as they keep protecting the ball in the next two quarters, they will protect the lead.
Kenny, let's get your insight on Cleveland.
their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
And now, folks, just moments away from the start of the third quarter.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. What can you say? LeBron James, what an impressive effort today.
Yeah, on the cut, off the dribble, he is a factor, and we saw that in the first half.
Coaches talk about having slashers on the team, and this is what they do. They get into the heart of the defense. They force difficult rotations. He's been tough to contain.
We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. And we've seen coaches that yell. You've seen some that show no emotion and everything in between. In your opinion, what's the perfect mental makeup for an NBA coach?
I don't think, Kevin, there's any exact science to what coaching can be. And I think the best coaches just have an innate ability to know when to push buttons, how to push buttons, and to do it on an individual level. There are many times that a coach can make the biggest impact with his player, Kevin, taking him aside and having conversations rather than doing everything in front of the team. And I think the best coaches have a pulse of each player on their team and take the time to go and do that.
Our second half of basketball and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Rashawn Holmes out there with Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Teague in at the one spot. Butler against Rose. To the paint, Thompson. Towns with the defensive effort.
This just doesn't seem to be his night, or his team's for that matter either. And they got to pull it together here quick or it's going to be lights out.
To the middle. Holmes passes to Teague. Throws it up high. Stolen by Bledsoe. And here's the fast break. LeBron leading the way. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. 17 points for LeBron.
Well, LeBron makes a million decisions a moment out there on the floor. That time, another good one.
Outside Butler. Puts it up from 12. No good off the front iron.
And they just cannot seem to get it going so far in this half, missing their first 3 shots.
Fast break. Minnesota pulls up. Another miss by Minnesota.
Well, they got to be more active on offense and maybe a little bit more aggressive going to the rim. 0 of 4. Not impressive thus far.
The drive by LeBron. And they double up James. And here's Love from the arc. He gets that one to drop. He's now 5 of 12.
Now, how quickly did Kevin Love get that shot off? What great confidence in that stroke.
Teague against Bledsoe. And it's slammed in by Teague.
And what a beautiful way to polish off that sequence. Just strong at attacking the rim.
That just puts a little more momentum on their side, don't you think?
Absolutely.
And that's where the defense failed. You can't let him throw that down. You've got to get over and foul him, send him to the free throw line.
That doesn't go in either for Teague.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
LeBron dishes to Rose. Rose with another miss. Minnesota leading by 9. Outside Butler to the wing right side. T kicks to Towns. Thompson with the rebound. Thompson's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Back to Rose. In the corner, it's James. Butler with the steal. Here's Wiggins. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 4 assists in the game.
And you just love how Butler works the ball around to his guys. A selfless player who wants to make his teammates better.
Harper, he's checked in for the Cavaliers. And let's take a look at the playmaking here. This chart with the assist totals split between the front court and the back court tonight for the Timberwolves.
And their guards are taking on the majority of the passing and assisting for the team. Just as you might expect, the bigs doing their part by getting to good spots inside and making themselves available.
Minnesota in the lead. T kicks to Wiggins. Towns the screen. Jumper off the screen. Up again. And it's Towns on the follow. Towns has got 12 in the game.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. For 3, Love sinks the triple. He's got 16.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And stolen by LeBron. Bledsoe outside. Jacks up a 3. Count that one in, and the Timberwolves lead is cut to just 5 points on the basket from LeBron.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Up their last 5 baskets, 3 have been tripled.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Now here's James. 22 points for him. Here's Love. Rebounded by Holmes.
Somehow, some way, he couldn't get that one to fall from in between. Got to take advantage of the weak defense when you can.
And here is Teague. He has 5. He dishes it to Wiggins. Here's Towns. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. And it's a 9-point Timberwolves lead. And the Cavs' big 3 completed with the trade of #1 overall pick Andrew Wiggins to Minnesota for Kevin Love. Brent, if they had to do it all over again, do you still think they make that trade?
Absolutely, Kevin. They brought a championship to Cleveland, a drought of 54 years, and Kevin Love was a big reason why they got to the top of the mountain. So I would absolutely make that trade.
To the inside. That one's not going to go. Good D from Love. The Minnesota Timberwolves come into this one following a loss to the Rockets in Houston.
No other way to put it. The defense was awful, completely uninspired at that end of the floor.
Yeah, scanning the box score here, and you could just see the turnover differential failing to cause any sort of mistakes. And then on the offensive end, just a lack of focus. It's foolish leaving anyone that wide open from outside the arc. The D has got to be better.
And the Cavaliers call time here. Brent, when you played, you were able to score in a variety of ways. Which do you think you were better at, shooting off the catch or off the dribble?
There's no doubt that shooting off the catch, Kevin, was much easier for me. I love the fact that I could get my feet set, start to anticipate when the ball was coming, who the ball was coming from, and then establish my own rhythm for each of those opportunities to cast away at the rim.
I would think, though, you'd get rhythm by working off the dribble, too.
Yeah, sometimes you have to be able to do that, but I oftentimes use that dribble to maybe create another opportunity for a teammate. And then the other idea, Kevin, is if you're a great catch-and-shoot player, the pump fake and one dribble in, that's something you have to perfect to keep the defense honest in terms of their closeouts.
The Cavaliers trail by 9, puts it up, and some very quick points for him on that possession. He's got 13.
You know what? Didn't find a very good shot on that possession, but still able to get 2 points.
Evans outside. Inside. Kicks it out to Wiggins. 6 on the shot clock. Fires the 3. Again, Wiggins missing. For Cleveland, they've gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the third quarter. The feed to Love. And Love throws it down.
Kevin Love showing off a bit of his moxie there and some experience there, overpowering the defense with some of his strength.
Timberwolves leading by 5. Towns the screen. Evans kicks to Gibson. They double him with LeBron. And stolen by LeBron. Dishes to Daniels. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Wiggins. How his last 10 games have gone. He's right around 13 points a night, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Just solid all-around performances we've been seeing from him, delivering night in and night out.
And I like it when stars do exactly that. It's not just about scoring 50 or 40 or 30. It's about making plays consistently.
Now here's James. After the miss from Karl Anthony Towns. James against Gibson. The shot misses. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Evans. And again, unable to change momentum here. The Cavaliers trail by 5. Here's Farrell. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. It's good. Now Evans. Outside Gibson. Back to Evans. And Gibson kicks to Evans. Shot clock at 6. Butler on the way. He's covered by Daniels. It's good. That's now 8 points for Butler.
And it's clear why Butler is a top-tier talent. Just remarkable at draining difficult shots.
The pass to Love. And the foul on Andrew Wiggins. That's his first foul. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Lopez, he's checked in for Towns. Crawford comes in for Butler. And Jones subbed in for Wiggins. And a switch here also for Cleveland. Iman Shumpert's checked in for Yogi Ferrell. Now here's LeBron. He's got 22. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a 3-point play. Going to the line for 1.
Those defenders just looked a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
The Cavaliers have scored 6 points from their 8 attempts at the line so far.
Shumpert, an important piece to this basketball team. He comes in, he does a lot of things well, and accepts the defensive responsibility that is placed on him.
Now here's Crawford. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Down low. And the dunk by LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron on the alley-oop. Great getting loose on the backside, and what a pass.
It was beautiful the first time, but Under Armour showing us the replay of that tremendous alley-oop again. Another unleash chaos moment. Here's Crawford. Gibson setting the pick for Crawford. Kicks it out to Jones. Connects from three-point range. Jones has got his second basket of the night.
Three-point shooting since the half has been about as good as you could ask for.
Jamal Crawford, the guy who has won multiple Sixth Man of the Year awards, and the guy that comes off the bench and provides you with some instant offense, ready to shoot and certainly ready to shake a defender with those incredible handles.
And the Cavaliers with possession here. They trail by 3. A three-pointer, no good. Minnesota's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Here's Lopez. Kicks it out to Jones. And there's a whistle. It goes on Iman Shumpert. That's foul number 2 for him. Thompson, he's checked in for Kevin Love. .124 left in the third quarter. There's Crawford with the 3. Crawford with another miss. And for Crawford, it's a luxury to bring him off the bench.
Well, Jamal Crawford is not a high percentage shooter, but with that volume shooting, you know he has the opportunity to impact the game, coming in and scoring and getting buckets. There are a lot of people who really enjoy watching Jamal Crawford come in, putting the ball on a string and making scoring sometimes look easy.
Now here's Jones. He has 5. Lopez a screen. Crawford passes to Lopez. Shot clock at 5. Kicks it to Crawford. Crawford missing again.
Trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but thus far, not working.
Yeah, I hope it hasn't gone to his head. He may be trying too hard at this point.
LeBron against Gibson. From deep. That shot misses. Evans with some nice D. Crawford outside. Jones with it. Back to Crawford. And the shot is long. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. Timberwolves lead by 3. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded. No second shot. In transition, everyone talk. No open threes in transition.
And Tom Thibodeau wanting his team to pay particular attention to certain areas of their defense.
Yeah, taking care of the defensive boards, allowing no easy baskets on the fast break. These are key elements in terms of you having success.
All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. And Cleveland looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. LeBron and Thompson are up front. Then there's Iman Shumpert. And it's Daniels into the shooting guard position. The Cavaliers trail by 5. LeBron James on the wing. To the inside. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James.
Yeah, just not good court awareness there. You cannot afford to be careless. That just leads to bad turnovers.
Towns, he's checked in for Minnesota. The Timberwolves shooting at a decent 44% clip here. Jones dishes to Towns. Evans kicks to Towns. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Cavaliers making a switch here. Bledsoe's checked in.
And for a player with his size, Towns has always been very comfortable at the free throw line. And that's a good thing because he finds himself there quite a bit.
Minnesota leading by 8. Towns, the screen. Jones kicks to Crawford. Here's Towns. Sinks the 15-footer. Towns has got 9 points now in just the second half.
And right now, the game plan seems to be working.
It looks like this team has finally gotten into the club and found its rhythm, trying their best to pull away.
LeBron, no luck.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Tyreek Evans, the 4th pick back in 2009, won Rookie of the Year.
Averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists right off the bat. And it's been about the injuries in terms of what's held him back. If he can stay healthy, and that's a big if, the talent is obvious.
Teague is checked in for Jamal Crawford. And Cleveland also making a change. Rose is checked in. Shumpert passes to Rose. And another miss by Cleveland. Minnesota with the ball. It's been 8 unanswered points for him. And the wide open shot from Evans. From outside, off the mark.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Stolen by Evans. Teague against Bledsoe. Evans dishes to Jones. There's the pick. Lets the 3 fly. The Timberwolves again can't hit. The Cavaliers trail by 11. Bledsoe kicks to James. Shumpert with the screen for LeBron. Fires the 3. Drills the 3-pointer. LeBron's got it back down to within single digits for the Cavs.
And I would say look out. Right now, LeBron James is locked in.
T kicks to Towns. Evans outside. Towns sets the pick for Jones. 5 on the clock. No good that time. Nice D from Rose.
Really surprising to see the huge edge they have in rebounds, given what the scoreboard says.
Outside for Bledsoe. Lets it go with the 3. No good from LeBron. Jones, the pass to Evans. Feeds to Towns. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the 4th quarter. T kicks to Evans. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession. Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for Tyus Jones. The Cavaliers trail by 8. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the 4th quarter. And the dunk by LeBron.
You see LeBron just shrug off that contact there. It's like nothing even hit him. I just don't ever want to take for granted the fact that LeBron James is simply one of the greatest basketball players that's ever played the game. Am I overstepping it? Not at all. He is just as complete as it gets.
And when it's all said and done, Brent, do you think LeBron James goes down as the most versatile player in NBA history?
There's no doubt about it, Kevin. If you talk about a player that had the consistent dominance that LeBron James had in every facet of the game, from the moment he stepped into the NBA, it's been a remarkable run for him. And when he steps between those sidelines, there's really nothing that he cannot do.
Now here's James. Cleveland moving the ball around. Shumpert a screen on Teague. LeBron, no good. Timberwolves leading by 5. Teague kicks to Evans. He feeds it to Butler. Evans outside. Now on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
That's just some big-time muscle moves right there from Evans, getting to the hoop, even with the harm.
Love checked in for the Cavaliers. And the free throw, no good.
And missing opportunities here to extend that lead at the free throw line this half.
Outside Rose. And another miss by Cleveland.
His struggles are consuming the rest of the team here tonight. He's got to find his rhythm and find it fast.
Yep, that one goes in there. And the Timberwolves lead by 9.
Love how Jeff Teague did not fear that attempt. He was amongst the trees, but it did not affect the shot.
Right wing. Love dishes to Bledsoe. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. Minnesota's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Teague kicks to Towns. Pass to Evans. Back to Towns. Releases. Holmes out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession. The Timberwolves making a switch here. Higgins is checked in. The Cavaliers trail by 9. Now here's LeBron. Over in the corner, Rose. No good on the 3.
I think the D is just fine with those kind of shot attempts coming from him there because he's not hitting anything right now.
Holmes has a screen. Higgins with it. He's picked up by LeBron. Towns a screen on Rose. 4 on the clock. Here's Wiggins. Love grabs the board. Love's got 15 rebounds here tonight. Here's Rose. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist.
Yeah, LeBron with the whip pass there. Good at surveying the court and spotting the open teammate.
Teague against Bledsoe. Teague kicks to Wiggins. Passes it to Butler. Over Rose. And that one's good by Butler.
Butler is a polished mid-range scorer. You got to be up in his jersey whenever he's around that area of the floor.
Wiggins passes to Towns. 3-pointer. Again, Wiggins missing.
Wow, what a rough second half for him shooting the basketball. Maybe you adopt a pass-first mentality at this point.
And he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up. So it'll be Derrick Rose shooting. That one is on Towns.
And you gotta love watching Rose play the game. His intense style can be infectious out there, and I think it really does elevate his teammates.
Now here's Teague. Holmes has a screen. Higgins outside. Over Love. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Those are the types of looks that you got to finish deep in the paint and limited defensive effort.
On its way from Rose for 2. Again, the Cavaliers score.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
T kicks to Wiggins. Pass to Holmes. There's the dish to T. Towns sets the pick for T. Wiggins from outside. Again, Wiggins missing.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
Now here's Rose. And Butler sends it back.
And the length of Butler can be a real problem. You've got to respect his reach. And this is a guy who can block shots from the wing.
Yeah, it's a disappointing sequence of plays. Absolutely inexcusable turning the ball over like that.
The Cavaliers trail by 4. Love with the screen on Butler. Rose kicks to LeBron. Rose against Butler. Back to Bledsoe. Now the feed to Love. Launches a 3. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Holmes got 11 rebounds in the game. Goes up to the stripe. No good off the back of the rim.
You know, not sure if it's him or the defense, but just something's off tonight.
Well, something in this frame for sure, but when you're out of rhythm, sometimes it's better to play the role of being the facilitator.
That one goes in. 14 points for Andrew Wiggins.
tell you, he picked a tough time to start struggling. Only 1 of 6 from the field here in the fourth quarter.
For 3, Love. That one doesn't go. And Minnesota will come the other way. They've led by as many as 14 points. LeBron against Wiggins. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Teague for 3.
And after getting off to such a good start offensively in that first half, haven't been quite as efficient here in the second.
The 3. And with that shot, the Minnesota League is cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Bledsoe.
And in that first half, guys, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes as they have here in the second, trying to use that shot to stay in the game.
Now here's Butler. And the rejection by Love.
Encouraging signs when Kevin Love is that intense on the defensive end. Swats that one away. That's why Kevin Love with the ball right now is not a bad option.
The Timberwolves shooting only 35% in the fourth quarter. The offense looking a little rickety. Teague dishes to Butler. And the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant 1 foul.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays.
And Butler does so many things well. I mean, shoots a high percentage from everywhere, and a gritty defender. He does it all.
He really relished these moments, and he loves those pressure situations.
Inside. Plays it in off a pretty alley-oop.
And he just big boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Thompson, a screen on Wiggins. LeBron passes to Bledsoe. Outside Rose. The screen from Thompson. Lock at 6. James kicks to Rose. Holmes with the steal. Here's Wiggins, and it's Wiggins with the jam.
That was like a morning paper for Jeff Teague. Makes a great read and swings the ball around for a clean look at the bucket.
Bledsoe against Teague. There's Rose with the 3. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. .121 left in the fourth quarter. Butler kicks to Towns. Tries from 10. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him.
And at a certain point, there's just nothing more you can do.
Well, they're nearing that point right now. Everything would have to go perfectly just to give them a shot. Well, LeBron James lives for the big moment. Another one there.
Outside Teague. Dishes it to Wiggins. The shot comes out. James with some nice D. Rose kicks to Thompson. Towns with the steal. And so they choose to intentionally foul. And Minnesota has possession. They lead by 4. T kicks to Holmes. Here's Wiggins. And so they foul intentionally. It's the first, and that puts them up by 5. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
It's showing off a really smooth stroke there, and that will add to their lead.
Thompson dishes to Rose. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Rose.
Some turnovers necessary. That one, not so much.
And now we've got the intentional foul. He gets the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
Well, Jeff Teague, one of the more calm players at the line, always looks to be in control.
And the Cavaliers call time here. They're trailing by 8. 26 seconds left in the fourth. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Karl Anthony Towns.
And he's put on a terrific show of skill in the paint. A combination of move, footwork, and that soft touch down low. It's all added up to one dominant performance for the big fella.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Gets the three to fall.
Kevin Love is clutch, and boy, did the team need that.
And Minnesota has possession. They've led by as many as 14 points.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. So it gets them both, and it's a 7-point game. And the Cavaliers call time here. They're behind by 7. There's 21 seconds left to play in the final quarter. What do you think, guys?
And just trying to salvage anything at this point, even if it's just some momentum heading into the next one.
Well, it's all about doing your best with the time that you've been given. It's the only thing really that you can control as a player. So let's see what they decide to run.
And here's Jones. And so the Timberwolves take the win. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Jimmy, you have become a star in this league, big part of the team. Have those expectations put more pressure on you individually?
No pressure. I think I'm gonna do what I do each and every night. I'm not gonna play well every night, but I just gotta focus on me, this team. Can't worry about the outside influences.
A real leader, Jimmy. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long.